This toy band wrote a new song called it's Mentally Ill. And I'm in AA. I go to AA meetings. Oh, I'm mentally ill and I go to AA meeting. Woo! All I want is you.
What phone is it?
I'm mentally ill and I go to AA meetings. And when I see my friends, I'm always cringing.
Hello there. A lot has changed since we last spoke. We're all grown up now. We're no longer drinking coffee, and we're all cocooned and cuddled up indoors. Just didn't expect it to take this long. But here I am, back to you, and I can sense the anticipation in your voice. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I'm sorry for my absence, but these are some strange times. Do you want to run away with me? Go to a different planet? Go to a different place? To a cafe? One where the moss cliff peak far, far away. They speculate our universe started as but a speck, and one day to the flat advance it will stretch, ripping all events back into familiar nothingness. Whether or not it does or was, I do not obsess. Such foolish questions are left to conjecture, bickered lines between science fiction writers. No, what attracts my attention is immediacy of the present, and our insistence to escape its grasp in fantasies of the future and an imagined past. The violet stars in a border system, a sand-ravaged metal city blinks like a prism, sinks like a fresh syringe, serum in a victim-splitting rose vein. Unharmed but in pain as petals of grey grains make their way from your lungs to your brain, aches in the vacant prison throbbing of an abandoned post-urban apartment. Smoke like lava lamps dancing to jazz music in the static fuzz. All sighs are as thick as black musk, and wallpaper slits rise at dusk. Layered logs whose shadows trenches dig demented dents. Instead of mending walls, I watch them undress. Decades to shed their metal flesh. I hibernate each night in a pod, eyes open but mind lost to the repetition of tumbling bottles and flipping magazines. With a soft AC brush, the lifeless is puppeteered and steered by an invisible hand, all for nothing but a pathetic dance. In the end, all movement feels like circumstance. The TV, the bed sheets, the pot plants breathe as if they're stuck in a humming trance. Hardly free beings, more like lava lamps whose unpredictability stems from electricity heating a sinking oil blob. Simply entropy rushing through our blood. When it stops, the AC stops, the tabloid's last page is topsy-turned. Facing the ceiling, his story has been adjourned.
That's so exhausting. Why, 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 why?
Staring beyond my glass bowl to the snowfall where each soft step pressed supple feather. Dry winds blow up my shins as firefly-eyed demon wings watch from the distant shadows. Their lisping howls twisting boughs into the blank billows, beneath blankets of banquet bodies frozen in ice valleys fixed to the stars. I crush their uninterrupted visions of Mars from an ancestor's past. Now I'm the pioneer, picking through the marsh, stumbling through the canyon, staring at the peak. Nature is foreign, humans are meekly crashing at the Dandruff Lake Creek, and peeking beneath its deep sea to see scuba's glow, and a calling horn soaring past the snow, a doleful sign I must go. Underneath the white flaking sheet, a world breathes in bubbles, the frilly cheeks of a scarred shark, masking underwater water parks. The glass slide tubes zooming glow sticks, winding like hula hoops on a scuba dancer's slow hips, as gold ships dip below the pole pit, glimpsed like bracelets on a loose wrist. I sink, watching the sky drink effervescent streams of white ink sucked up through a straw. As a nascent horizon of bright civilization rises, I dawn with the cloudy rays and vexing waves towards the sunken storm of a forlorn blown rubble cave, torn by a shoal of rabid horned beasts that patrol the deep sea, and warned of their mortal mystery and cryptic fables of feats in the deceased now breathe like cold chimneys as I sweep across the floor. Across the floor. In the darkness of buzzing light contorts all thoughts into shouts, while some tricks and the cloud dust heaps. I stop at where my radar beeps, advance to quick rank, flipping the thick sediment with clumsy claws and caring of what gun of an ancient explosive chest, wrestling with the tentacles, S.O. I licked my lips and faced the dark, watching concrete clouds plunge to sharks. In the vacant streets, addicts bleed, inhibitions to the gutter. Slows down all speed to a sporadic stutter. To a sporadic stutter. So what's the point of bothering when the only alternative to suffering is postponing more of that ugly feeling for a cloudier day? In the sinusoidal waters, all problems mold to numbness, every image an empty structure, memories an army of terracotta. Any deeper and I might have already forgotten. But no amnesia can make you forget, no anesthetic can make you rest. Eyes open, bleeding tears, tearing blood, wasted years making arm angels in the sinking mud, hoping for a panacea when I should have just given up and bit the pill to split that drug, or fucked my life up for momentary bliss, or touched you in a forest and gave you or not succumbed to this dumb game of... I know it's wrong on paper, but I'll worry about that later. Not addicted to you, but how you make me feel, not on drugs or in love, just lusting to feel unreal. Buzzing alarms thump atop my seat. Intruder detected. Grab my holster and follow the heat with a gun. Cockpit locks feet with a clocking station. Docking the deck, crowds of alienation. Intergalactic trade unions make a hard bargain. Suit and ties with their swanky jargon. 9-to-5 wives, yet never enough. Run a city with puppeteered cuffs. Die in a platinum coffin. Viking funeral. Try it all again with a renewed numeral, miss her birth a second time, or just lie that she was never mine. Nuke a planet with a press of a button, know that it was all for nothing. Win the moon over by the break of dusk. Let the earth's tide rise when you say you're in love, when you're really in lust. Never disgust your disgust of that sticky stuff. Leave for the sun that dawn, leave your son in the dust. Let your daughter mourn for the father she never got. Send out a signal when problems arise. Pay some space renegade, double their price. Magnetic hurricane rolling in the eye of a forsaken system. Stares through the protective glass into my soul. Visor throbbing as its demonic halo rings rob me of all my self-control. Engulfing planets, heat licking my cheeks. My ship is a pin in the sinking reef is drawn barren. Starlight is torn fabric. My mind is ecstatic with spastic ideas, electrifying neurons in a web of gravitational temptation. A supernova of miscommunication between sight and ears and mind and fears. What could go wrong is suppressed. Its emerald crest hypnotizing my settled chest. Wrestled with my ribcage to break into my heart. Rip through the riptide of this celestial arc. Blazing re-entry through a feather lake as dense as Jupiter. I saw the past in glass worlds, swirling rainbow pearls of pure emotional vapor, popped as I thrust through, sticky residue attaching to you and amending your mood. The ground horizon now a mirror maze of memories, navigating with a faulty compass, lazy-eyed as my dozing sight, weary, bitter, tepid night, rolling, floundering, stupor. Poke and prod, but beware. You're playing a nail piano. Its rust keys will prick your fingertips. My rough tongue will rub over you and leave a bruised and abused muse as a mark of their mastery. Though you'll know the words you will not understand. Though it seems so cryptic, it is easy. The trick is to simply be me. I had no choice. Was the entropy of this universe that placed me here. Premeditation from a primordial time on the particle level. I let you in for your own sick, sordid entertainment. Gladiator games may be cruel, but did the audience not rapturously applause and adore that same humanity, flesh and bones, the same brains and organs, the same chemicals, the same love, the same loss and pain? Isn't it always the same? What changes is the cosmetics around the raw, because truth is too bitter. We need sweetener to swallow it, so let me take it easy on your taste buds and mull it up with ambiguity. Melancholic, monotone, bleak, grey beach, and food is flavourless soot, and indifference is ease, and silver roses are pollinated by black and white bees return to their bleached hive, and the sky is stone, and mountains are cold, exploding volcanoes, lobbing shooting stars erupt, not in twinkles, but in heavy rain, and all the madness of words and their meaning relapse in your brain, hip fixed monogamously with meaninglessness, incessantly disguising Pyrrhic victories beneath promising masks. Envious of the rocks on Mars, or the fox in the forest that blocked our car. Inanimate life seems so simple, when all that motivates movement is a wind. When all these blinding decisions ambush you, the complexity reaches critical mass, and I'm but like the rocks on Mars, a slave to the tendencies etched in my infant past. I want to believe in free will. I want to believe in change, but these circumstances leave me no choice, no chance, when life has the spontaneity of a pre-rehearsed 13.7 billion-year-old tribal dance. Neon shard residue drips from the shoe, reflecting twinkles from a lonely step. While the world is sleeping, I'm untangling this street lamp from its electric net. Splash down, unravel the ladder, now strapped to the tray. Busy hot air balloons rising in orderly, watery disarray. Feel the high-rise hallways meld to highways, stargazing meandering light rays on the light rail to my post-urban condominium. Android Echo greeting me with assaulting tease, an uncanny valley of feigned intimacy. Welcome travellers to Anima Station. We hope you enjoy your stay. Swipe jackets and baggage. Defeated glare reflected in puddles from some dying star. Am I past my prime? I drift. Foot-crushing rainbow mosaics and Lambert advertisements insist that I wander, that I stray in apathetic desperation into their store and buy it out, own it all. Limp the nauseating stairwell, cling to the rails, fingers slipping and boots printing frowns in the trails of mud and blood congeals between the door frame as keys jingle, bells crinkle to croaks, roaring, haunting life hoax. It pokes. It taunts. You're not great. You're not loved. You're alone. So alone. So in pain. So you bleed. So you flee. So you drown. To feel free. To escape. To suppress. To decompress. To indulge. In excess. But your lungs are filling, your vision is lapsing, the world is collapsing, buildings are flooring, pods cease soaring, stars are now marbles on the floor, cities are now rubble and war-torn, children now tortured and unborn, and all for what? For a moment to escape life's cusp. You know it's wrong, but you don't give a fuck. You're obsessed with shaking this obsession with reality, the supremacy it has over what is, what you feel. You would kill to end it, to dream in a nightmare, to retreats and ancient fantasies, whispered in rhyme as we slowly breathe. This is so unlikely, so unlike me, to be stuck here with you on this shrinking beach. Calm abyss in your iris, neck cocooned in your hips, chin rises to the sky. Fingertips caress your cheeks. Envelops me in the water, smooths our chest, tickles our neck and floods our throat. So distracted by love, we're blind to the rescue boats.
Baby, I miss you dearly. Yes, I do. I would trade all of you to get you back. So please, baby, don't you leave me now. Don't you leave me now. I love you.
And when love dried out, thrust in the flaked basin of aching pain, I trekked barefoot through rivers of skulls and blood plains, skeletons of my naive dreams, to see moonlight shine in my arms again. Your thumb in your lips and your eyes to the sky. When I glanced down, you gleamed up, unaware of why there were tears in my eyes, unconcerned of all that you'll miss. I'm done. show you a tid, brother. Tussling with the kraken in her sleep. Though she's in my lap, I can tell she's out at sea. Stars like glowworms in a universe-spanning cave. Floating flares flowing across her face. Beneath the chrome shield of this spaceship's roof, I wait for her to awake and embrace with a kiss. Watch her while I'm warming a kettle in the iron pantry. Watch the planets dance around so gallantly. Watch the coral blur of nebulae soften my windows and soften a grin. Watch Andromeda tug at my jawbones, and though I'm lost, give me hope I can one day win. And though the lightless, bottomless recesses of your abyssal brain places me further from you than here to the Milky Way, the pull we both feel makes collision inevitable. As I eclipse the glare from the cupola casement to kiss you once again, I hope in your deep submarine slumber this ray can reach you and guide you back to your closest friend. For now, my love, I wait with your hair in my palms. For now, until the very end.
It's been a long time since I last heard your voice, and I've been wondering where you've been. It's been a long time since I last seen your face, and I wanna know, I wanna know, darling, where have you been? You let me
Let's do it all in one take. SOS. I'm stranded in Andromeda. On autopilot and my thermometer is weeping dry. Out here the only thing that shines is the lonely, blinking, blinding warning light. In my cockpit, oxygen critically low, optics blurring, speech is slurring as I feel my knees buckle and go. Beneath the pressure of 1,000 neutron stars, weightlessness in the wait for the embracing dark, tunnel vision with no light at the end, approaching train early heard not seen, anticipating its swift execution of all that I remember. All that I am is a collection of stories sinking through the sands. I was so young, an earnest explorer with only hope to my name. Giddy and untamed, I glimpsed vistas, gained alien languages in my trip past glistening waters and lands that linger in the darkness of a blink. I see visages of all those I know my bones will miss. Optimism in skulls buried at the bottom of the ocean. I'm 5 years older than I was 4 months ago, pacified on the coast and grossed in the Dubai afterglow. And those lightning nights that pass with a bussing sting, those slow summer days spent lost in music and dancing, when we meditated beneath the pelting rain and let all hopes and worries deluge the city's non-existent drains. Torrents have pulled me under, suffocation by liquid wind and tactile thunder. Ricochet wasted days with debris wedged in the crevices of my subconscious mind. Don't waste your scarce, precious time on me. I know to you I'm only a fleeting curiosity, a bird in free fall with no intention of flapping. A concert poster in an empty hall that you can glance at for a moment and not invest a second thought. Just ignore the negative ones with the aid of a drug. I'd rather have you than a pill as my crutch, but unlike a pill I can't own you, and deep down I know I don't want to, so fuck it. I'll swallow bitterness, wash down obstinate, disengage with this dumb charade, and learn to direct my love back at me. Reality. I'll not just swim back up, I'll split the sea to form mountains of ride the moccasin. Goodbye for now, not sure I want to see you soon. My whole life I've been drowning, now I'm hiking to the moon. One sole photon descends ethereal depths, past mutilated creatures and cityscapes crept, and fossilized relationships that still gasp occasional breaths. It stumbled to the bottom to be absorbed in my skin. Like lightning, the chain reaction begins, zaps one particle, stabs the other, as each connection doubles, fall quintuple, and control is breathed back into my lifeless body. Eyes gleaming a blasting light, a tractor beam of steam like an erupting rocket hurls me through the night, to the lunar surface, past otherworldly monsters and earthly problems, to the place where nuclear wars look like ant squabbles, chaos and havoc settles and static order disrobes. There's beauty in entropy and complexity, as though all is written, tomorrow's bounty can never be fully known, until it is read, the chapter cannot be fully closed. Brace for impact, as reality hits, awake from this dream, this fiction, for his story has become unfrozen. History has been resumed. I saw a familiar face in a cafe, one on a sand-cleft planet, far, far away. Wood floors and brick walls, smiling fireplace, and the wide hall stretching from the mansion to the garden where the children played. For a few minutes I wish I had stayed, but the ocean crashed and hardened to stone in a submarine. I beg your pardon. Caffeine? No, I need to sleep. That's right, and what was it all about? Some snowy rock where they would shout, call my name from the village below. We know, do they? Yes, we know. They know what you did. To the sea I fled, dived and hid, blowing bubbles with a straw and sucking up converted air to yellow brick floor and wooden walls. Do I remember this place? Apparently. They remember me. We remember you, they would say. Or just leave me alone and let me be, buzzing away from the rocky forest emerges our prey, spears in hand and paint on face, ripping sound, and so begins the chase, and it goes up and down and up, but the rip reveals a dark shadow immune, opaque and bleeding. Listen to me while I'm talking to you. No message of light beams from it. What is wrong with you? And on the lunar surface is a frog that jumps up and down its happy tadpole pond. Can you hear us out in space, they all ask, as the pond peers down on its blue ocean family. I'm happy up here, the pond declares, but the Earth's passive face stares in disappointment. Come back down. And so the water floats down a cosmic tube to join the sea back home. Crashing against the moss cliff peak, water warms my feet. This island, dry of life but surrounded by marine. My memory of domesticity, faded by time. I mean, someone will find me, I think, as long as I continue to rhyme. The moon's spotlight shines bright every night, paring down, no tears to muster. Stare it in the eye and then wander out of here to a cafe where I saw a familiar face.
I wander around behind my fence, where everything is taking place. I'm moving around in the sands, and you pass without a shame. I try so hard to be like you, but who am I?
That was an exciting ride. But I think I'm ready for a little normalcy now. Just a stale, mundane, monotonous day. Or week. Or month. Or year. Just like in the good old days. Things they mute pretty fast in space. Something about time dilation. You know, like what they write about in science fiction. Good old escapism and science fiction. Somehow less strange than these times. All that you want is all that you're ever deprived of. A little bit of drama in a library, a little bit of peace in a theatre, a little bit of humility in a courtroom, a little bit of humanity in a classroom. Don't let it get to your head. You're still so young. You learn from your mistakes. We did nothing wrong. We'll be alright. Probably, maybe, likely, be just
Oh yes, we will. Anyways, darling, can you call me back? I kind of left you a voice note, whatever that thing is called.
I just wanna see you here with me. Why can't you be here with me? I said, darling, baby girl, why are you so afraid to admit that you want me? Leave me happy. Well, when I was young, and saw that pretty boy, I told my mother and my father and my sister, here we go. I wanna get you solid and let you into my heart. But until then, I will have to send you love notes. And from now until the start of I'll love you. I said that, baby. I did not stutter when I said that I love you, Sarah. And I want you to know that. I love you to the end of time. And probably after that, whatever is after that, end of time plus one, that's when I love you too. Bye bye, baby girl.